All right, so we got to this. I showed you very briefly at the end last time that this is what you end up with. This is one of these partitioning things ended up with this story, right? That there's three, and you can see that they're really close to this character who's central appears to be central. I mean, graph layouts are always a bit deceiving, but this one, and then they're also friends with them. So you can see that they really are a bridge one, and really assigning them to be something maybe is a bit dubious. Maybe you really want like scores or something. But these games are such that we will have partitions, and there will be no overlaps, right? You're either on this team or this team. And as we'll see as we go through some of these other examples, which I'm really going to sort of just point to, we won't go into them laboriously. People have tried all sorts of other approaches. And there are so many, and I'll see if I can get them out of my head properly. Right. And so this was the shortest path betweenness one, and again, this is the random walk one, or the electronic betweenness one. And we looked at this a little bit the other day. So these were pretty good, right, in terms of matching up with each other. There were there were these two main divisions. They disagreed, I think maybe on, no, they didn't. 3, where is 3? 3 is here, and then 3 is here. So 3 switches between these two. But you can see it's an edge case, and that's fair enough. And then this is what happens, this is where it all falls apart terribly if you don't recompute between. This is the shortest path if you don't recompute the betweenness. So it is it's laborious to do it, but you have to. The partitioning just goes to pieces. It's just no good at all. And again, the top modularity, which is the measure of how strongly this is departing from what the equivalent randomized version would be. Right, so we're going to say, maybe we get to a point, let me just illustrate that a little bit. One example might be you've really got this a very full network here and a very full network here, and your partitioner comes along and says, I kind of think there are these two groups. And so the modularity measure says, okay, well, how many edges are there, what fraction of edges are between this group, plus what fractions of edges are between this group, and that's going to be all of them, right? There's just this one edge, in this case, that's outside of it. So that's going to be really high, but the randomized version, there's no way this is an incredibly low entropy thing. The randomized version is going to have a ton of edges between these two things, right? And we're going to shuffle all around. And so when we go to say, well, how many in that version would have edges within these groups that you've created, then you would get a low number. So that this would work out. But if you tried to say, I think this is the module and this is another module, it's going to fail, right? That's going to look bad. It's not going to do as well. All right.